So what are the three fundamental attributes of goals for goals to work? Well, first is the goals need to be specific. If the goal is not specific, what's the point of setting an ambiguous goal? What's the point of saying, do this a little better than that? Not as, you're just going to basically split your attention. So as specific as possible. I'll give you some examples as to what you can do, attach some number to it. Then the next one is, clearly they need to be time-bound. You're an MBA student, so what if somebody tells you, you know what, getting your MBA is a pretty good goal, but take 22 years to do it. Would that be somehow motivating? So of course it's not. You got to gauge that time properly. And then the most complicated one is goal difficulty. Sort of at which point, now think about it, because if the point X gives you the most return for the goal, you probably want to set the goal right there, right? However, you don't want to be above it, because if you're slightly above it, you overshoot it, negative expectancy kicks in, you get inverted U. People will say, I don't believe I can do it. This is too much. So getting to that point, and we'll discuss that when we talk about how to set a difficult goal, is probably the most complicated. So let me give you some examples. Specific goal, try to attach some numbers if you can. So for example, if your goal is to reduce the frequency of medical errors, we can actually have a specific behaviors that I would like people to do at a certain frequency. So it's just an excuse to say I don't have a number, because you can always look at the critical behaviors and decide on some frequency of them. One thing to not do is try as hard as you can. That actually means nothing. That phrase, it's used most of the time, and it's used by managers who really don't know what to say. Just try as hard as you can. So if you do a goal-setting study, and a typical study is, here's the high specific goal, moderate, and do your best. Do your best has the same effect as no goal. People absolutely do not consider that, hence why it's in red in these slides. Now, time is easy to screw up. Just finish that by the end of the week. Well, what's the end of the week, right? For some, that's Wednesday noon. I mean, that's Thursday, that's Friday. So how about just finish that by 5 p.m. Friday? There is no doubt I can plan my time. It's very clear what to do. The key part of timing is to make it appropriate to the difficulty, because the timing can screw it up. If you don't have enough time, that increases the difficulty of that goal. So then, what should be a difficult goal? The rule of thumb is 90% or 90 percentile. That means set the goal at the number that 10% of the people can do it. So basically take a distribution of your performance, look at the 90th percentile, and use that as a goal for the next round. Is it challenging? Absolutely. 10% of the people can do it, 90% are not doing it. Is it achievable? Yeah, it is, but it's not easy. So you're trying to get the most out of your people, because the idea is that this is a motivational technique. This is not an ability technique, saying you don't have ability or skills and I just want to embarrass you here by setting a difficult goal. The assumption is the others could do it if they wanted to. And maybe that goal will get their competitive juices, especially if you're reinforced. And if the 90th percentile does not work, then see where you're at, talk to people who didn't do it, but almost certainly, if they had the skill and the training, the goal would move the mean almost certainly to the right.